I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers fade as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peaceful state I'll stay.
Welcome back to A Course in Miracles in Practice. Today we're looking at Lesson 217 with a review of Lesson 197. We always love hearing from you, so if anything sparks a question or a shift for you, please email us. Just send it to ACIM@theworldharmonyproject.org. Let's get into today's review.
All right. Lesson 217 starts with that powerful reminder, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And then the specific idea for review, Lesson 197. It can be, but my gratitude I earn. Who should give thanks for my salvation but myself? And how, but through salvation, can I find the self to whom my thanks are due?
So this idea, it can be, but my gratitude I earn, really flips our usual script, doesn't it? We often give maybe our time or energy or a favor, and we sort of expect something back. A thank you, recognition.
Yeah. We're often looking for that external reward, that validation. But this lesson points us inward. It says the real exchange, the real payoff when we give genuinely from love happens inside us. We're earning our own gratitude, our own freedom, our own peace. We aren't actually dependent on getting it from someone else.
And this gratitude isn't about feeling puffed up, like, oh, such a good person. It's not pride. It's more like a quiet sense of liberation, right? That feeling when you choose to let go of needing to be right or holding on to resentment or demanding payback, that feeling is the reward.
It connects directly to remembering who we really are, not just a body, not just a bundle of needs and defenses, but spirit, whole, complete. Giving from that place means we aren't acting out of fear or trying to manipulate a situation to get reassurance.
Yeah, there's that line in the original lesson 197 that says, no one can give if he is joining with the dream of sickness and of pain. If you're giving from a place of feeling lack or fear or like you're making a huge sacrifice, it feels draining. It feels like you've forgotten your own inherent fullness for a moment.
That's a perfect way to put it. It feels draining because you're giving from the illusion of scarcity. But contrast that. When you give from that deeper remembrance, that knowing that nothing real, nothing truly valuable can be taken from you, then the act itself becomes expansive. It's not a transaction anymore. It's just a statement of your own abundance, your own truth.
I actually had a very down-to-earth experience with this. My kids, they had a friend over, and let's just say the living room looked like a small explosion had occurred. Toys, cushions, blankets, everywhere. And my first reaction, honestly, pure frustration. The little voice starts up, look at this mess. I tried to keep things nice, and this is the thanks I get.
Yes, the parental martyrdom ticking in.
Totally. But then, almost out of nowhere, this phrase just popped into my head. It can be, but my gratitude I earn. And I stopped. Right there, amid the chaos, I realized my upset wasn't actually about the state of the room. It was about feeling unappreciated. I was looking to them to validate my effort, my giving of a nice space.
And that's it, isn't it? That's such a clear, everyday example of exactly what this lesson is teaching. We fall into that trap so easily.
It's so easy. So I consciously took a breath, reminded myself, okay, I don't need their gratitude to feel okay. My own peace is the reward here. So I walked in, instead of launching into a lecture, I just said pretty calmly, wow. Looks like you guys had an amazing time. Let's get this put back together now. The cleanup was peaceful. Everyone stayed happy. And I was free. I didn't spend the evening stewing about it. That's the freedom the lesson talks about.
It comes from dropping those external expectations and recognizing our own innate wholeness. It doesn't depend on getting something back from the outside world.
Because if we really are, as God created us, if that's our truth, that our validation, our freedom has to come from within. It just depends on our willingness to remember that truth in the moment. And this ties in beautifully with a question we received from a listener. It painted such a vivid picture.
Oh, it really did. Very relatable. Let me read it. Today I was waiting at the bus stop with a bunch of people, and I saw a person who looked really bad off sitting at the stop. Nobody would sit on the bench with him. He had dirty clothes, messy hair, belongings in a dirty bag. I walked over and handed him a $5 bill. He glared at me and snatched it out of my hand. A couple of people belittled him and loudly told me that's why they don't give them money. I kind of felt like I'd put him in the spotlight since he wasn't grateful. Was I wrong to give him money when he didn't ask for any?
Wow. First, thank you for sharing that with such honesty. That feeling wanting to help, but then feeling conflicted by the reaction and then judged by others, that's so real.
And the self-doubt that creeps in, did I do the right thing? Did I make it worse? But if we look at it through the lens of today's lesson, it reframes the whole situation.
Right. Because the Course isn't asking us to judge our giving based on the recipient's reaction or anyone else's opinion for that matter. The question it asks us to look at is internal. Did the giving come from love? Was it an extension of kindness offered freely without strings attached? If the answer is yes, then the gift was complete in that moment of giving. His glare, the comments from others, that's separate from the integrity of your act.
And it is hard, especially when you feel exposed like that in public. It's uncomfortable. But giving, true giving, isn't really a performance for others. It's an inner choice, an inner alignment. So no, you weren't wrong. You were actually practicing this lesson, giving and accepting your own inner sense of rightness, your own earned gratitude as the reward.
And you could even say the situation offered a deeper gift, maybe. A chance to practice choosing love even when it felt uncomfortable. Love towards the man despite his reaction, and love towards yourself by not taking on the judgment from the onlookers.
Now let's think about a different kind of giving, one that diminishes rather than uplifts. Do you remember those images from Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria when President Trump was there, tossing paper towels into the crowd?
Oh, yes. I remember that scene vividly. It wasn't about the paper towels themselves, was it? It was the way it was done. It felt performative.
Yeah.
Disconnected somehow from the suffering people were experiencing.
That's the key difference. That kind of action seemed to come from a position of superiority. The unspoken message felt like, look what I am doing for you. There was a lack of joining, of humility, of recognizing shared humanity in that moment.
Exactly. And tying it back to, it can be but my gratitude I earn.
Mm-hmm.
Giving like that, giving in a way that separates.
Yeah.
By placing yourself above or needing to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
It actually reinforces the illusion of separation. You know, I have, you lack. That's not healing. That's just hierarchy.
Giving with that undercurrent of contempt or purely for show doesn't liberate anyone. Not the giver, not the receiver. It actually strengthens the walls of illusion, the sense of lack in one person and superiority in another. That's the exact opposite of what true giving achieves, according to the Course.
So even though a physical object changed hands, it wasn't truly a gift of love or connection. It wasn't extending wholeness. And that's why it felt, well, humiliating to many observers. It seemed to make people feel smaller, not helped.
What the Course consistently teaches is that true giving isn't about rescuing someone you see as less than you. It's about remembering there is no real separation. The actual gift is the recognition of shared identity, the joining. And that's why we feel peace, why we earn our own gratitude when we give from that place of truth. We've remembered who we both are.
Okay, so this is powerful stuff. How do we bring this into our daily lives? How can we practice giving in a way that brings us freedom, not more entanglement?
Let's break down some practical ways to apply this maybe before we even act.
All right, step one could be pause before you give. Just take a beat and ask yourself, really honestly, why am I giving this? Are you trying to feel needed? Are you fishing for appreciation? Are you maybe just trying to soothe your own discomfort because their situation makes you feel bad? Or is it coming from a place of genuine care without needing a specific outcome? Think about it before offering advice, money, help. Just check in first. Then step two, recenter with today's idea. Silently say to yourself, it can be but my gratitude I earn. Just that little reminder helps pull you back. It reminds you the real reward is inside you. True giving frees you. Step three, ask yourself, does this act of giving reflect our shared wholeness, or does it subtly reinforce separation? Does it make you feel slightly above the other person, or does it affirm that you're both fundamentally equal, both expressions of the same spirit? So before you jump in to fix someone's problem, maybe ask, am I connecting with them as an equal, or am I accidentally seeing them as broken and myself as the one with all the answers? Step four, and this is maybe a bit counterintuitive, consider that sometimes love might ask you not to give in the way you first thought. The form of giving isn't the point. The intention is. Sometimes the most loving thing is to say no, or to just listen instead of trying to fix. Or maybe just offer your quiet presence. Instead of trying to cheer up a partner who's down, maybe just sit with them quietly, offering acceptance. Or instead of lecturing a colleague who's struggling, you could silently hold the thought for them. You are still as God created you. That internal offering can be powerful. And finally, step 5. Whether you give outwardly or choose not to, let the decision come from that place of truth, not from guilt or fear or just old habits. Take a breath before you act or speak. Remind yourself, I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. Remember that core truth about your identity. Then ask, can I remember this truth for both of us in this moment? Often, just holding that space of shared wholeness is the most healing gift you can offer.
That's a great summary. Because the aim here isn't necessarily to become a nonstop giver or the world's best problem solver. The goal is simply to give from a place of remembering who you truly are. So wrapping up today, we've seen how the Course reframes giving. It's not about external transactions or getting something back. It's an internal reflection of our own state of mind. Give from freedom, you receive freedom. Give from fear or obligation, you stay tangled. We really encourage you, maybe just for today, to pause before you offer support or money or advice. Just check the intention. Remember, you aren't responsible for how your gift is received, but you are responsible for the spirit, the love behind it. Perhaps carry this affirmation with you. I give without expectation today because I am already whole. Tomorrow, we'll continue with Lesson 218, looking at how we can choose peace over conflict in any situation. Thank you so much for joining us today.